It's September 7th. It's now 553 BC, 20 years after Ezekiel's vision of the future temple. Nebuchadnezzar has died and Belshazzar now reigns as king of Babylon. It's Daniel's 50th year of captivity, and God reveals to him two more troubling visions that describe end-time events. Visions that show a vicious world ruler that ruthlessly persecutes God's people. 14 years later, in 539 BC, God vividly and publicly demonstrates to one of the world's most powerful rulers the folly of trusting in oneself, of trusting in one's own power, and of trusting in false gods. The miraculous handwriting on the wall that occurs in the midst of King Belshazzar's party is a very public rebuke of this proud king and his kingdom. Daniel, now an old man, is brought in to interpret the strange writing on the wall. And in Daniel chapter 5, verses 26 through 28, he pronounces God's sentence upon Belshazzar. God has counted your kingdom and brought it to an end. You are weighed in the balances and are found wanting. Your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. And so that very night, King Belshazzar is killed, and his kingdom falls to Darius the Mede. So as God strikes down one of the world's most arrogant and powerful rulers, he reveals to Daniel that at the end of days, an even more powerful and arrogant ruler will devour, trample, and crush the nations of the world, and will, for a season, persecute God's people. The vision is extremely troubling to Daniel. It's extremely troubling for us as well. Many of the events described in Daniel and in Revelation are quite troubling, but they are given to us to help us understand the dramatic conclusion for God's plan for world redemption. Evil will escalate at the end of days, but as we'll read in the days ahead, this occurs because God is drawing evil out into the open where he will judge it in a very public way. Evil will become more open, on public display, and publicly accepted. At the same time, God's power will be made known through his people, and it will also be on greater public display. The future will be full of greater intensity on both extremes. Here's today's application. As you plan for the future, don't be surprised or discouraged as you see evil escalate. And do not be surprised or discouraged when dramatic and unexpected events occur on the world stage. As mankind races toward the dramatic, climactic conclusion of this epic battle between the forces of good and evil, participating with God in his plan for world redemption will require discernment, faith, steadfast courage, and boldness. Now here's today's prayer.